Let's head over now to Sam Watts, the CEO of the Welcome Hall Mission. Sam, welcome to tonight's broadcast.
Thank you. It's good to connect with you.
And of course, in this election campaign, homelessness was a major issue. Let me just ask you if you feel that during the campaign it was enough of an issue.
It was clear to me that I've been through a number of these, as you know, Elias, and it was interesting to see that all of the parties that were competing were treating this as really the number 1, 2, or 3 issue that they were talking about. So, from my perspective, this was something that is a good thing. Sadly, it has come to this point where it is a big issue, and I think it's something that we really do need to deal with, and we can deal with. So I'm pleased that it was part of the debate.
And did you feel they paid, like when it comes to providing solutions, did you hear things that gave you hope, or did you find more lip service than anything?
Well, it's always in the implementation, isn't it? Because election campaigns are interesting and people can make promises. But to me, it was fascinating that Projet Montreal and Ensemble Montreal actually spent the time to consider what it is that should be done. So those were, the other parties had their ideas, and I don't want to dismiss those, but the two major parties certainly spent the time to consider what could be done. And if you look at what they put forward, there were some similarities, but I have to say that Soraya really stood out for me because she took the posture that I've been advocating for 10 years, which is to say that we actually need somebody who owns the problem. And so she said, well, let's own it here in Montreal. And I thought that was very refreshing on her part to say that, Montreal as a city doesn't have all the levers to do everything that we might want to do to address the challenge. But at the same time, it does need a champion, somebody who will bring people together. The power of a big city mayor is that a big city mayor can convene. Mm-hmm. And that's something that needs to happen. And she was ready to step up and say, look, I'm prepared to own this issue. And as you know, Elias, I come out of the private sector many years ago. And one of the things we know is that when there's a problem, when there's a challenge, somebody's got to own it. And for a lot of years, we've been pointing fingers in a variety of different directions. And no single level of government has wanted to own the challenge of homelessness and precarity. And I thought it was refreshing that Soraya stepped up and said, look, I'm prepared to own this thing, and put a number of proposals forward that I thought were actually pretty interesting. And so far, the results appear to be interesting for her.
Sam, let me ask you this. For years and years, it seemed like our focus was on downtown, right? When it comes to homelessness, we were focused on downtown. And now more and more, I think we've seen some of those things we were used to seeing downtown expand out from the downtown core. And I'll let you know, today, after I had voted in the morning, my wife and our son, we went to the park. And while we were in the park, we caught up with another couple and their child. And they'd mentioned, and they live in a pretty affluent area. And they mentioned how they had homelessness showing up in front of their home. And they were very fed up. Do you think that had an impact on this election campaign, that we're now seeing this issue not just in those traditional areas?
Yeah, for sure, because for years Montreal has been sheltered from a North American phenomena. We've managed to keep the issue of homelessness to areas of our city that, I'll use the term, respectable people didn't normally go to. And it was largely kept in check by organizations like ours and others. And it's expanded, and it's a North American phenomenon. It's not just a Montreal thing, but we tend to be lighting our hair on fire here in Montreal when we're actually facing a challenge that is entirely solvable in the context of our city right now. And what it's going to take is really just the kind of energy that we need to put to this thing, with all of the facilities and all of the resources that we have in place, to say, let's start taking some steps that will resolve the issue. Let's work on solutions rather than just patches, because for years, as you know, Elias, governments have been addicted to patches. Let's open up this, let's open up that, let's do something for the winter. And it solves the problem for a few months, or it appears to solve the problem, but it really doesn't go to the solution. And I think that this is a time now that we've got the energy and we've got the momentum to actually do something, because the problem has gotten to the stage that you're talking about, where it's spreading to all the different boroughs of Montreal. And I live out in Beaconsfield. It's only a matter of time before it spreads to Point Claire and Beaconsfield.
Sam, and I have to leave it there with you this evening. Thank you so much for hopping on our broadcast this evening.
You are very welcome. Enjoy your evening.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.